Hey, what is good? What is good? What is good, beautiful people? Of course, you know who I be. Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV, back again, once again. Just reporting the news as it comes to me. Shout out to the individual who sent me this email in reference to the topic today. Now, first things first, new to the channel, subscribe, notify, you know the rules. Check out all of my information listed in the link in the description there below. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a topic that has been covered, I will admit, by another YouTuber, but this here is the actual article that posts exactly the reason why foreign travel is unlikely to continue throughout the year of 2020. All right. So this was posted in a Philippine Star list. The link will be given to you guys in the description area below if you guys choose to read the entire article or to review it yourself. And whatever you have comments, concerns, leave it down in the description area below. I know a lot of my guys have been planning travels for this year or getting tickets, you know, for the later part of this year in the hopes that everything is going to subside. But it looks as though you might want to reconsider that particular thought process. I'm sorry, guys. I'll be getting messages on my phone while I'm trying to work. Jesus, never a day off. Okay, so this article was posted on April 30th, which was yesterday for most people, 2020. It says, in Manila, Philippines, plans to travel abroad after the 2-month enhanced community quarantine will have to wait until next year, according to the Department of Tourism. International travel might not happen this year. At this point in time, travel abroad is but a dream, the tourist secretary said during a virtual hearing of the House Committee on Tourism on Tuesday. The young lady, her name is Puyat, I believe that's her last name, Bernadette Puyat. She said, did not say whether such policy would cover domestic travel, as she revealed plans for a new normal in the tourism industry. The new normal will be implemented until a vaccine for a COVID disease 2019 is found. She said there will be mandatory regular sanitation or disinfection of hotels and accommodation facilities, tourism transport services, and tourism related establishments such as meeting and exhibit venues, restaurants, and spas. So I guess they do plan to reopen these businesses, but the sanitation will be enhanced. She also said inspection of tourism establishments would be conducted regularly. So not only are they going to not force, but encourage and make you guys wipe down and sanitize, but they're going to check to make sure that you are doing your job. It says sanitation and disinfecting devices, including personal protective equipment, will be provided for tourism workers. I think that's good. She said the DOT would pursue the development of online systems that can facilitate tourism related transactions digitally, such as applications for accreditation, training, and modules and retail. Hotels are advised to establish systems for contactless check-in, where guests can simply get their key cards and proceed straight to their rooms. Okay. I've had that happen before when I was staying in an Airbnb, things like that. The key was left in like a mailbox or something. So that's kind of something new for at least the hotel standpoint. But yeah, I've had that happen at Airbnb all the time. Most of the time, I never really met the person who was owning the bit or in I'm sorry, the person who owned the condo that I was staying in for my Airbnbs. Most of the time, they just said, go to the counter, fill out the information, and then go get the key. So hotels are trying to implement that as well. It says hotels may have to do away with breakfast buffets that require guests to use the same serving spoon to get food. Yes, guys, there is something that I do want to note, and I think this is probably everywhere, but probably more specific in the Philippines. There's not really the use of plastic forks and spoons and knives and stuff. You might have that in other places, but in the Philippines, that is not as common as you think. That is something that you literally have to request. Plastic spoon, forks, and knives and stuff, in most places, you have to request that. Other than that, you're going to use the same spoon and fork unless you bring your own that is utilized by all the other patrons of said establishment. Yes, they do clean it, but there is a little something that might be off-putting about reusing something that somebody else used, whether they clean it and sterilize it as much as they possibly can. Might be something you want to think about. But yeah, I can understand the reason why they would shut down the buffets and stuff like that. It says instead, hotels will provide bento boxes, expand their kitchen, and institutes better spacing tables to allow proper social distancing. Okay, bento boxes, for those that don't know, just a little box that has your whole meal prepped inside of it. So instead of eating it in the location, you could probably take it back to your room. Puyat said the DOT plans to limit the capacity of tourism transportation, restaurants, and tourism spots such as parks, museums, meeting and convention facilities, and more. Aside from these plans for the new normal, she said the DOT implemented the Tourism Response and Recovery Program during the initial stages of the pandemic to help tourism-related businesses and their workforce get back on their feet. If you're telling me that you're not going to allow international travel, could be a problem. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on. The DOT earlier implemented a moratorium, sorry, on the collection of accreditation fees for the new renewal applications from tourism enterprises and tourism-related enterprises for the year 2020. The DOT and Tourism Board brand waived participant fees in international affairs and exhibitions set between now and the end of 2021. All right, I'm just gonna skip through it. You guys can read the rest of it. She said there were only 1.3 million tourist arrivals from January to March as compared to the 2.2 in the same period last year. They were just going over the numbers. You guys take a gander at the article. I think you'll get some interesting information from it. Okay. Here's my whole thoughts on it. So my gentleman who I've been planning this Philippine trip, just postpone it. All right. Just for your safety and for your sanctity. I know it's gonna kill you guys. I know it's gonna kill you. I know a lot of y'all got blue balls. I know. I'm sorry. Okay, but you're gonna have to postpone your trip. Okay. I'm doing it more so for your safety. If you want to be able to enjoy your time and your life in the Philippines, I think you're gonna have to sacrifice a little bit now so that you can enjoy a little bit later. Granted, none of us saw this coming. It's just the way that it's going to be. But for me, this is where things get hella interesting for me, because I'm thinking about the OFWs, the Overseas Filipino Workers. I'm not sure, but I feel as though this article is telling me that if you are an OFW that returned home, you're not going to be able to go back to work until 2021. That is going to put a wrench, and I mean a hella wrench. It already is, but it's going to put a even bigger wrench in, OFW sending money home because they're not working, and it's going to prevent OFWs who are home and they can't get back to work. So you mean to tell me that that's a potential of them losing a job? Hopefully that will not be the case, but you stand to lose a lot if you keep your OFWs in country. I understand safety first, ladies and gentlemen. Money is not everything. I get it, but you got to realize, in the minds of a lot of people, as we discuss the whole reopening the United States and reopening other countries, the way that I see it personally is, if you don't want to go out, you don't go out. If you believe that it ain't time yet and you don't want to go out, stay at home. 100% agree. But for those that need to get back to work, like for especially those in the Philippines, I hope they do open up soon enough, because they got to earn a living, because they're not getting any government assistance for the most part. The poorer people are, but the middle class, they ain't getting no help. I mean, if you're rich, I think you good, but the middle class is being overlooked. So when the country reopens, I understand that people need to go back to work. But if you don't feel safe, if you don't feel like it's a place for you to go, don't go back to work. But in reference to international travel, the OFWs are going to be in trouble. OFWs are going to be in hot water because they're stuck. They're stuck until 2021. Granted, this thing may not blow over for a while, and hopefully that is the case. That way, no job or there's going to always be money lost, but there's no job loss. But like they say, man, you don't work, you don't get paid. I mean, there ain't too many people out there just getting a check to sit around. And I don't think unemployment exists in the U.S. I mean, I'm sorry, in the Philippines. It is in the U.S., but if you apply for it, you're applying with like 30 million other people. So you may or may not get it, and it may or may not come in a useful time. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, all I can do is hope and pray that you guys have done good things with your money. And honestly, if you are still able to work, prayerfully, you still are able to earn a living or an income in one way, shape, or form. All this means to me as a foreigner who was looking to travel later on, you just have a little bit more time to save your money, ladies and gentlemen. You have a little bit more time to put a little bit more away. And I think you need to utilize that opportunity. That way, when you can fly and when you can travel internationally again, because eventually the countries will open up again. Come on now. Let's not act like you'll never be able to travel again. When the countries do open up, you're going to have a lot more money to your name to be able to enjoy a decent vacation. My thought process was the minute that these countries start to open up again, people are going to go on vacation. They're going to disappear because they're going to need one after being stuck indoors for an unannounced amount of time. You know, they're going to need to just get out and go away. I was thinking people are going to start going on cruises again soon, but I think that's a little overzealous in my approach to think that people are going to be willing to jump back on boats and cruises and stuff, you know, considering that being in a confined space with a lot of different people and the potential of a second wave that people are quote unquote predicting, you know, that may not be a great idea. But as far as flying and stuff, man, getting out of the country, I think a lot of people are going to make that move. So, excuse me. So if that is your prerogative, if that is what you're going to do, man, do it. But you now have a little bit more time to put away a little bit more money. Think about that before you start to lose your mind about the fact that you may not be able to make it to the Philippines this year, okay? Think about all the money you can save. That way your next vacation is going to be an awesome one. And when you do come, make sure y'all look up the good doc, man. Don't leave me hanging, because if y'all got all that money, and I know y'all gonna be rich, because I don't deal with no po' boys, man. I think a lot of the people who watch me definitely got hella good jobs. So y'all make sure y'all look me up. Doc will be willing to sit down and just buy me a drink, and we be good to go. All right. But don't forget about your boy if you hop into the Philippines. All right. Y'all know how to reach out to me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been fun. It has been real. This has been the Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV, man. Just letting it hang out, letting it hang out. And you guys let me know what you think about the entire situation in the comment section below, okay? All right. With that being said, the Good Doc is officially out. At least nako paalam, which means time for me to go. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Mahal kita. Mabuhay. Peace.